everybody. Hey, hello. What's happening? Hello. Welcome to Aisle 4 tutorial series. We've done a couple tutorials in the past. We've actually done a iron farm in the past. Today we're going to do another one, a different one. One I've been thinking about in my head. I've seen some that are like it, and I'm like, I want to do something like that. I did this farm in my survival world, and someone said, can you please make a tutorial of that? So I decided to make a tutorial. This farm's a pretty good farm. It will do 1,500 iron ingots an hour on 4 modules. Obviously divide that 375 on a single module. So if you're in a single world and you just want to build a single module, 375 ingots an hour is pretty darn good. You can build this in your spawn so that it's always active. In my survival world, I didn't because I already had a bunch of iron backed up and I didn't really want to worry about it. I'm like, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I can AFK there if I need to. I have a lower budget one in my spawn chunk, so this was the one I decided to build. For this build, you are going to need some hoppers, chests, a couple different kinds of blocks. I'm using stone and glass. I like to be able to see. You're going to need some beds, name tags, lava, water, and signs, and some carpet. Pretty much that's it. You'll have to grab villagers, you'll have to grab zombies and do things like that. But to give you an idea what it's going to look like on the finished project, there we go. So 4 modules, pumping out iron golems constantly. It works pretty darn well. It's not a huge setup. We're going to go through the whole thing and get it all done so you can check it out and see it. Fly over real quick, take a look so you can see the iron golems rolling. You see them, they're pretty good. We'll go over here into a different flat part of this creative world that I'm in for this tutorial. And this is where we will get started. We're going to pop out one right here. We'll start with 1 module and we'll build that. And then we will, basically just repeat it for the next 3 or 4 modules. Let's get far enough away that it won't affect each other. Get over here. Okay, let us get started on building this thing. The first thing we're going to need is our building block, and we're going to need to be in the air. I went 17 in the air. So on my 7th, I built up, and then my 17th block, that's where I went. You can go as high as you want, and it can actually be lower because spawns don't really affect it. You have to at least be the number of blocks up so that iron golems will not spawn on the ground. That's why I went 17. I think it's 16 for that, and that's why I went 17. But you can go 100 blocks up in the air and make it some highfalutin thing. It's not about mob spawning. It's just iron golem spawning. So that won't hurt anything. So we'll go up again on 17 blocks and we'll start from there and we will get it built. All right, let's get this thing started. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get high enough in the air. Maybe we'll go like 20 blocks in the air just in case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we'll go 20. So now listen, best way to build up, right, is just like this. What if you're over water, though? Build a platform out and build up. What if you just want to do it above the land? Build up with blocks like this or grab some bamboo scaffolding and you are on your way up. So this is going to be the end and we're going to shoot it out that way. We're going to go to the west. So it doesn't really matter which direction, but let's just say this is the start of the chamber. So I like to make it 5 wide. So 5 wide where he walks and then an edge for the first part. All right, so these 2 areas right here are going to be for your zombie. So this first part of the chamber is for the zombie. And we will knock that out right there. Then right on the other side of the zombie is going to be the chamber for your villagers. And we're going to give them 3 rows. The zombie needs just 1 row. Villagers need 3 rows because you have a room for them to walk and for their beds. There we go. So we've got that set up. And we will go up 1 higher on here to make the ceiling for the zombie. Now to get a zombie in here, the way that I found was the best is you build your platform here. And then you go out to the very end of it, wait till dark, and let the zombie spawn, and have him chase you. Make a little opening and have him chase you right into the chamber. Alternatively, you can also put rails all the way up and get a zombie into a cart and run him up there that way. That seems pretty difficult. I found once I started building the stone part of this, I just left it open like that. And as I built my waterway, pushing the golems out, I just went and stood near the end at night, and then one would spawn in, and then I'd get him in there. Seemed to work the very best. All right, so we're going to build these edges in here. So we have these guys walled in. This is where they're going to go. We're going to have, I like glass so I can see in afterwards. Make sure everything's okay. And of course, for the zombie, to be able to see in from the front of this as I'm flying over or walking over. This seems to be the best thing. Get this built and show you what this part looks like. Now, between right here and here, because the zombie's going to go in here and the villagers are going to go in here, you're going to have carpet to separate them so the zombie cannot reach over and mess with the villagers. He can scare them, but not mess with them. And then we just build in his box. And you've got a zombie box right there. Again, over here, I like to have my little glass so I can climb around and see if the zombie's still there. He won't burn. It's all good. Now the villagers are going to have beds, so they're going to need a little bit more space for their headroom. So usually what I like to do is I take my beds and I put all 5 of them in here. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the ground, I'm going to put, on the bottom here, I'm going to put carpet. If you're not seeing anything too much right now, so that would be carpet. Then we have this right here, right? Okay, so now here is where you need to leave space for them because they are going to stand on the bed. So you can do this with anything. It can be a solid block. It doesn't have to be glass. Again, I like to look in. I want to be able to see what's going on so I can troubleshoot it. Leave enough open. And to get your villagers up here, how I did it in my survival world was I did run rail tracks from my villager breeder all the way over, up above, and then just knocked the block, left a dirt block, knocked it out, boom. They were good to go. Okay, so we've got that piece in. Now we're going to build a waterway. We're going to build it 5 wide because I'm doing this 5 wide and 8 deep. 8 deep on this first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's because water travels a total of 8 blocks. And then the way that it works so your zombies don't get stuck is you actually need a bottom. The rest of the runoffs, we're not going to need the bottom block, but on this one we do. And we're going to build this too high so that the iron golems cannot get away. All right, so we've got these going. And then we're going to carpet to take out any spawning places. These blocks right here really kind of control the spawning places, I should say, because you are going to want to get your zombie. So what I would do is get the carpet in here early. So when you build the rest of the runoffs that I'm going to show you in just a second, they can only spawn on this right down here. This will be like a little spawning platform. So now I want to go down and out 8 more. I do the rest in glass again so I can keep an eye on what's going on. You can just run a water bucket right down here, float down, or if you're over land, build up to. But what we're going to do is we're going to do the next run, which is going to be 5 wide and 8 deep. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now we've got that, and then we need our side runners to keep the iron golems in. So we go out 8 on each side. These do not need to be carpeted because they are non-spawnable blocks. Okay, so now we've got 16 blocks from where your villages are going to be, maybe 17, 18. But they need to be 19 away to spawn another iron golem. So what I do is I go out one more. You do not have to do this last piece. You can actually only go out 2. I like to go out 3. I don't know. I like the way it looks. So I like to go out 3, but you only have to go out the two rows because that will give you enough space to keep it moving in a timely manner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure that's right. It is not. You got to make sure that it's not underneath there. Otherwise, it just ends up being 7 blocks. So we're going to go out 8 like that. And then we're going to build our 2 walls. Boom, like that. Okay, we've got that one going. That one's good. There you have it. There is the complete waterway that I use for my golems. You do not need this extra third piece here if you don't want it. I like it there, so I put it there. We are then going to build a chamber for them to fall into. Just like that. We better put so they don't slide out. And take this down as many as you want. It doesn't really matter how many you go down on this. I personally went down, I think, 10 blocks or so, 10 or 12 blocks. All right, let's get this done, and I will be right back. All right, we are back, and you can see I have built the cage. So we now have a catch-all cage form. I have not done the bottom yet because I did want to show you how to do that. If you don't have a place where it's easy to build up from the bottom, let's say you're doing this over the water, and you need to hang down, so to speak, to build, you can go out to an edge like this, drop your water right there, and then float down here in the water and build your walls down. And you can do that all the way around. And that will make everything very much easier for you on getting the wall built down if you're over the ocean. Instead of trying to build vines or build a platform all the way out and try to line it up, you can just come right here, drop some water on there, and you are good to go. Okay, so in the bottom, the only thing that I haven't done yet is the hoppers and, of course, the lava. So best thing to do is when you finish your wall, put one more down low so that you can put your hopper in here. And that's about where it'll go. So you will come over here, squat, put your hopper in there so it's aiming down into that. And then all the rest of your hoppers, will go right into that hopper. I just, boop. And then you've got a platform that they're going to land on. Now, I did my ways 5 by 5. I'm pretty sure you can do them 3 by 3. I just like to make sure on the room. Here is where we're going to go ahead and throw on our signs. We're going to do them 1 block above. Is that right? 1 block above. That's right. All right. So we're going to go here. You know what? I like them. Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. Is that where we want it? Coming down from here. It doesn't really matter. That one's not needed. Doesn't matter if you write on the signs or not. There's no secret code with the writing that's giving us a cheat code or anything like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a lava blade. So I'm making lava right now for these guys to come through, but you can also it can be just as simple as putting fireplaces on top of all those hoppers. And if you use the soul fire, they cook even faster. So I mean, it doesn't have to be a lava. It's just that's what I like to use. I use them all the time. So you're gonna come in and you're gonna put them in all your different corners. Almost forgot to put a wall up there. And if I put them in all four corners, everything is open except for the middle one. You can come in here and put more lava and fill it all the way in. You probably could have done this with just 2 buckets that mostly covered everything. As long as the lava will touch them, you're golden. So they will stand right in here between these signs with the lava cooking them the whole time. And you are good to go. And that gives you your killing chamber with the hoppers there. So now, let's go ahead and get rid of this and get us a chest in here. Okay. So what I like to do is I like to do a double. And then I will put something in front of it. So I can put another chest here. And then if you've got the hoppers and the excess, I always like it to go a little faster. Boom. Now you can build that as much as you want. You can build it all the way down. You can just have the stacks and stacks of chests. You can build it down into a filter. Anything that you want there. Anything can be there that you want. So let's go ahead and get the water flow going. What I like to do, because sometimes your golems will hang up on these walls, and I don't know why. So when I'm doing 5, I do 1, 2, 3, and then I will put one of these in the block in each corner, and then right on top of it. I don't have to do that for any of the other levels. Just that one level for some reason. Right there by where the villagers are going to be at. And there you've got it. We now have our area where they're going to float down. Super simple, super easy. I am not going to, of course, run up and throw villagers up here. I will just spawn them in. Make this a little bit easier for the tutorial, but 2. And you can see with the green sparkles that they're picking a bed. Once they move out of the way. 4. You don't want to click on them because they'll create a baby if you're using a spawn egg. Okay, so we've got our villagers. All 5 are in there. Let's pretend that we went and gathered them up. And then we went and gathered this zombie. And we brought him over here as well. Name tag him so that he doesn't despawn. And then, well, your module is now ready. So it usually takes 1 cycle for this thing to start working. Time, set, night. See, they all start going to bed now. He'll start waking them up. They're going to be scared of him. So we're going to give this 1 full day to work. Oh, I forgot to put the carpets back down. You guys forgot to tell me to put the carpets back down. All right. Luckily he glitched through the wall. Okay, there we go. You can see sometimes they're stubborn. Sometimes they can be a little bit stubborn, but they will eventually go, and he went. I'm going to adjust this water real fast here because I did the blocks in this world. I go like that, like that. Now I'm going to put the blocks down and do it again. Then we shouldn't get the overhang. See, now we've got... Oh, you still have a little bit of overhang. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I did it one. I did one extra. Let's do this. Let's get this knocked out real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on just a second. Okay, one thing that's, excuse me, super important to remember if you're in a survival world, so you don't have to go back and recreate all your work, of course, is to get your counts right. So I had overcounted that. Luckily, I'm in a survival, so I could knock it out real quick. But you want to make sure that your counts, they're 8 blocks, not 9. That way you don't have to redo anything. If you're only going to use one module and you're not going to increase this, then you just continue your wall all the way around. You don't have to, but it's good. If you're going to do more modules, of course, then you just bring them backwards. And you can build them back right off the center, so you don't have to keep building up to them. Build this one, and then build this one, and you will have all 4 modules. So let's go over here and take a look at how this one is working over here. This is one with 4 modules. Like I said, they don't have to be, I like them 5 wide. That's my deal. But this one's 3 wide, and it's just fine. So I did two directions 3, 2 directions 5, and they're just falling down, burning up. This thing's been running for a bit now. Let's see. It's going pretty good. It's not bad. So that is what 4 modules looks like. You got all your villagers in there. Don't try to get 5 villagers in there. Try to get 2 villagers in there and then breed them. Just make sure there's nowhere they can jump out. Seal the room while they're growing up, and then open it up for the zombie to peek in. But it is more than enough to only have the just the 5 in there. So let's change the time. Get these guys up and working. It usually takes a full day-night cycle for this thing to start kicking off. I mean, they'll pop one out, but to really get it kicking off, you can see that one over there is kicking off pretty nicely. Once this guy gets far enough away, then they are able to produce another one. Sometimes they'll be going right in a row. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll wait all the way. Either way, this is where they're going to be creating their thing. This will net you in a single world quite a bit of iron, 375 an hour. If you have the 4 modules, it is a little over 1,500 an hour that you will be making. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned a lot from here and that this is something you might want to try. I actually really like this farm. I saw someone build something very similar. I'm like, I'm going to give it a try. Before we go, I'm going to show you what it looks like in the survival world that I built, so you guys can check it out, like seeing it in a real survival. Hey, it's a hardcore world. There are no cheats. It's not just hard. It's in hardcore. So I did build it there without any cheats and from the ground without the creative world. And we'll see what it looks like. I'll take you over there. It's working really good. It's getting me a lot of iron. I did it on stream in a longer stream, but I will show it to you guys. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Here we are in my hardcore survival world. You can see I built this out over the water. I built up with just some regular dirt and cement to get it started. Once you have the first piece started, you're good to go. You can just build from there and build out and build around. It's white and blue concrete. It's white and blue glass. It's nothing special. Just right out here over the water. I built earlier iron farms because this world's been around since 1.14. So, I mean, I had a lot of iron built up, probably a couple double chests still worth. But I wanted something that was going to keep running me. I switch these beds from one side to the other sometimes, just not sure. The heart is just a funny over there. It's not really there for any specific reason. It's not needed. But you can see I've got 4 modules running. These guys are moving. Iron golems are rolling. And then I built right down into here where I put my chest. And you can have as many as you want. I built a bunch of them. This is just where I'm going to store my iron. Instead of going back to my base to get iron and things like that, I'll just come here to get it. It's fine here. So I just did a whole bunch of hoppers leading down off of the one. They just pop all over the place. Nothing in here, a little bit in here, a little bit in here. I went through earlier to test the rates. So that's why you see a lot in that chest. And again, like I said, you could build filters if you want to separate your poppies out. So eventually probably what I'll do is just fill one of these full lines with poppies and then one of them with iron, and then we'll just have it all run out and then we'll be good to go. So that's just kind of what we're looking at now and what we're doing now. I don't really have anything else for this. If you guys have any questions, if this is not working for you, please leave a comment. Let me know. If you leave a comment anyway, comments are fantastic if you don't mind. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have questions about this, in the question, please specify whether you're on Java or Bedrock so that I can try to understand what the differences may be or why it's not working. And remember, once you get at least one module started, you got to give it a full day and night cycle to get it running. The person that I originally saw do one of these, if I can find the video, I will try to put it into the description. So this was just something I thought, hey, this is cool. I wouldn't mind doing this. I did it my way. Kind of like the way I did it and the way that it turned out. So if you guys like it, check it out and use it. Let me know how it goes. If you do build one of these, even if it's just one module, come back in the comments and let me know. Let me know how it worked and how easy it was or how hard it was, or if you're not in a hardcore world, how many times you died trying to do it. So anyway, that'll be all. I appreciate you guys hanging out, and I hope this tutorial is really helpful for you guys. I will talk to you later. Have a fantastic day.